Welcome to Car Comparos. Today we'll be comparing the Tata Tiago with the Maruti Suzuki Ritz. Pricing and features. The Tiago Petrol XZ variant costs 5.2 lakh on road Delhi. However, a sensible customer may look beyond the novelty factor of the Tiago and consider paying for a dated but better quality product like the Ritz. The top spec Ritz ZXi retails for 6.05 lakh, which is an immense 85,000 rupees more than the Tiago. Both cars have similar features too, with the small exception of the 4 extra tweeters in the Tiago. Performance and drivability. Its K12 petrol engine feels like a quantum leap over Tiago's non-turbo version of the 1.2 Revotron engine. The K12 is supremely refined and blissfully free-revving, in stark contrast to Tiago's raucous and harsh-sounding motor. Both engines lack adequate low-end grunt, resulting in the need for constant gear shifts in city traffic. The Ritz does have noticeably better performance than the Tiago across the rev range. Amongst the diesels, the Tiago has slightly lesser turbo lag than the Ritz, making it easier to live with on daily commutes. However, it has none of the ballistic acceleration of the Ritz once the turbo gets going. Tiago feels completely out of breath on the highways, where the Ritz really excels, making short work of overtaking lorries and intercity buses. Not surprising given that the Ritz is almost 32% more torquey than the Tiago, considering the torque-to-weight ratio of both the cars. Fuel efficiency. The Tiago Petrol has an ARAI certified mileage of 23.8 kmpl, which is around 5 kmpl more than the Ritz mileage of 18.5 kmpl. The Tiago Diesel has an ARAI certified mileage of 27.3 kmpl, which is around 4 kmpl more than the Ritz's mileage of 23.2 kmpl. In our real-world tests, both the diesel cars returned identical fuel efficiency. Amongst the petrols, the Tiago was half a kmpl more efficient than the Ritz. Space and comfort. Ritz is a marginally larger vehicle than the Tiago. Moreover, it has a tall boy stance, giving it a higher hip point, which results in fantastic under-thigh support for all the occupants. The Tiago, on the other hand, is fairly lacking in terms of under-thigh support. Both cars have adequate space for 4 occupants, with enough space left over for carrying a 5th passenger on rare occasions. The Ritz's interiors also feel much more solidly put together and built to last compared to the stylish but fragile ones of the Tiago. Both cars have a similar boot space of 242 liters in the Tiago and 236 liters in the Ritz. Handling and ride quality. The Tiago is a well-balanced and lively car to drive, but it is no match to the brilliant ride handling of the Ritz. Ritz's ultra-stiff chassis and quick, precise steering make it good fun to drive around twisty roads. Its tall stance and softer suspension setup does give it some body roll, but also gives it a mature ride on broken surfaces. The Tiago also copes with bumps and ruts remarkably well and keep the occupants well isolated from the rough stuff, but it doesn't inspire as much confidence as the Ritz when driven at high speeds. Reliability and after-sales service. Tata needs to raise its game big time to catch up to the lofty levels of after-sales service that Maruti Suzuki is known for in the country. Tata's cars are known to have teething troubles at launch, and then niggling issues keep cropping up as if it's a norm. Service centers also need a major intervention from the company to get the quality of workmanship in order. Resale and cost of ownership. Ritz is bound to hold significantly better resale value than the Tiago over a usage period of 5 to 7 years, thanks to Maruti Suzuki's stellar track record at product reliability as well as service support. Overall, the Tiago XZ works out to be just 50,000 rupees less than the Ritz ZDI in terms of total cost of ownership. The petrol Tiago XZ works out to be a noteworthy 90,000 rupees cheaper compared to the Ritz ZXi. That brings us to the verdict. The Ritz Diesel is the clear winner of this test. It is by far the torquiest option in this test. It also has more composed dynamics than the Tiago, is more comfortable than the Tiago, and has a more solid build quality coupled with Maruti's legendary after-sales service. Is all of this worth spending just 50,000 rupees extra over an equivalent Tiago? Absolutely. Even compared to the petrol Ritz, the diesel Ritz works out to have 1 lakh rupee lesser cost of ownership as well as more accessible performance compared to the peaky power delivery of the petrol Ritz.